welcome to Contented Hair. This is the next day and I did my pigtails yesterday, and so I am going to undo my hair. I don't have the back mirror, that's in the bathroom, and I just feel like sitting down today. So you see I did that wrapping it around the ends there, and again wrapping it around the ends there, and what about this one? And there. This is actually my protective style as well. It's now about 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that, and I went out for a walk this morning. I just put a toque on my head. I didn't undo my hair. So this is my protective style, and if I wasn't going out to doing anything, I'd leave it like this, and in the evening I'll spray with water, put some Contented Hair moisturiser and cover it like this, and then I'll wrap them around themselves and get to bed. I'll just always make sure I hydrate with water, add Contented Hair, and then I'm done. So as I am undoing my hair to style it, again, you just undo your hair and you style it. I know there are lots of people who may be still having weaves and different types of hairstyles and hair extension, and I know I have a friend, I actually have quite a few friends and family members who've said to me that the weaves and the I think it's the bonding with the gluing things to your hair and just the constant pulling actually breaks your hair. And then when you think of the cost of buying a wig, I am shocked. Like $300 or £300 or $400, and people have to do that 2-3 times a year. If you were to buy Contented Hair, the single is don't quote me on this, I shouldn't know, I think it's about $27 or something like that. You can easily buy 10, and I believe that 10 would more than last you for the year. So the cost of buying one wig, you can actually buy 10, and you get discounts when you buy in bulk as well. 10 Contented Hair products for the cost of one wig. Okay, I've just undone my hair, and this is the little fluffy thing that came out. So now I'm going to show you how again I just finger detangle it out like this, just literally like this. It is that simple. It's that simple. And now I'm going to undo the second one. So if you're in a position where you are currently you've got weaves and wigs and you're thinking, how do I make the transition? I mean, if you like my hair length and you're thinking, how can you make the transition from what you're doing from the wigs, because you don't want to go out and feel like, oh, my hair's like this or my hair's like that, and you got used to a particular type of look that you get from a wig, then how do you make that transition? I would really like to encourage you to just start looking after your own hair, because it's lockdown now and most people are not going out or out as much. And if it is a weave that you used to have because you like the style, I think a wig might be less intrusive, although, you know, if your lifestyle means that the thing may come off, then I know why people get weaves, because it's more permanent, it's easier. But if you're trying to transition from a weave because you've seen that your hair has been damaged, then I would encourage you that now is a really good time to start that process. Maybe just buy a cheap wig. That may be horrible thoughts to some people who are thinking, I'm not wearing a cheap wig. But if you want to transition and you want to start growing your hair, at some point you're just going to have to stop doing the corner to sew the weave on, and just have your hair take a break. Just give your hair a break from the weaving, and try and use Contented Hair, hydrate your hair, and just do that for 6 months. Do it for 6 months and see how well your hair grows. Send pictures, send comments. But I really want to encourage you to try that. So if you try that for 6 months and you see how well your hair grows or starts growing, and you can sort of start trimming off all the dead ends, because sometimes when you wear weaves you have to flat iron your hair, have your hair relaxed, so the edges can blend in and all of that. Give your hair a break. Give your hair a break. So the cost of buying 2 wigs, and I've been told a $300 wig may not even be considered an expensive wig. It might be a cheap wig. So give your hair a break from that. Say 6 months, spend the money, get some products, Contented Hair products, or other products that you feel may work. I know this work, I can only attest to this one, because as I said, my hair is 4C, West African, straight out of Sierra Leone hair. and my mom's Angolan as well, but it's African hair, and you can see the hydration, you can see the definition there. So I'm going to undo the last one, and then I'm going to style it. So the first thing we have to do, ladies, we have to make sure our hair is in a healthy position where we can start looking after it. The second thing that I really want to talk about, that's really close to my heart, which is sort of hair related, but it's more wholesome than that. It's kind of the our holistic life, is that we as women, especially we as women on the continent and the diaspora everywhere, we have society and the media, and and it could be because of how people are projected on videos. It could be a legacy of like so many things have gone on where women that look like me in the diaspora, there's shadism, there's colorism, there's perceptions, there are all kinds of things, and people may feel like they have you may not feel as beautiful as the next person, but all that's a lie, because when God made you, he made you beautiful. When he made your hair, he made your hair absolutely beautiful, hands down, absolutely beautiful. Not to take away from anyone else, but we know we have beautiful hair. So this is my hair, I've just undone it. As you can see, this is it there. This is it there. Now I just need to finger detangle and style. So the thing that's really dear to my heart is personal finance. So for personal finance now, I know sometimes some people may feel, and society might have told us, that as females, when you're young, you watch all those Disney movies and all these movies that tell you that the girl goes off and she meets the Prince Charming and she gets married to Prince Charming, and then he's wealthy and he loves her and he chooses her above all the other millions of women in the world because she's just so special and just so beautiful, and then she has this fabulous life. And she doesn't really have to do anything but just look pretty. Okay, so that is not true. That is not truthful. There's nowhere where you can just sit down and just look beautiful and then you meet this Prince Charming and he's just going to marry you and life's just going to be perfect. Or if you don't meet the Prince Charming, life's going to be a disaster. Neither of those situations are true. The one thing I do know is, whenever I have, I think I was in my early 20s, and I was thinking, how's all this finance thing's going to work? Because you earn money in one hand and it goes out the next, like you pay your bills, it's done. And I was researching, so I was reading my favorite research book, and I came to Proverbs 31 and verse 10 to like 30. Well, particularly the thing that caught my attention is on verse 16, it's talking about a woman of noble character. And it says, she considers a field and buys it. Now, she considers a field and buys it. That tells me that she's not waiting for someone to come and give her money. She's not waiting for anybody to give money. She considers a field and buys it. That means she is into real estate. Thinking like, what? It says so there. It says she considers a field and buys it. The challenge might be for a lot of us is, how do you actually get the money to get started in this whole buying fields, buying a house, buying your own home? Well, we're going to pray about it and then we'll think about it. And for the next time we meet, when I do a next hairstyle session, we can talk about how we can go about looking to see what assets do we have, what income streams do we have, and if you can't buy one where you live because it's so expensive, example for those who might be living in London, and where I live in Canada is pretty expensive. It is really expensive. It's like crazy. I'm surprised. So what do? Well, maybe you pair off with someone else that you know, that you trust, to say, okay, let's go into this together and buy something together. I can't quite see how well or badly my hair is, so you have to bear with me. But there's my hair. It's all done. Contented hair and water, nothing else. And your hair can grow too. Your hair can go. So give a break from all the weaves and wigs and stuff. So now when I go out, I don't have to go and even think about how I'm going to do my hair or anything. I just know that I'm going to undo my hair and then I'm going to be gone. So back to the buying the fields, and we can talk about these a little bit more. To think about it, there's a group called Bigger Pockets. I'll put the link down below. and they have their property investors and they share their ideas. So if you want to just go in and start listening, they do this thing they called house hacking. So someone buys a house, they just about make the deposit from whatever they have, friends, family, help them out, etc. Get the deposit for a house, and or townhouse, something, apartment, anything that has more than one room. So if it has 2 or 3 rooms in it, so they buy it, and then what they do is they rent out the other rooms. So that's called house hacking. So that's one really good way to actually enter into the property ladder, if you don't mind sharing your space. But then as the owner of the space, you can set the rules. But it means that you get your foot in the property ladder. And that's the key thing. So maybe for a year or 2, you can do that just to enter into the property market and get tenants. So even if your salary or your earnings are not enough to cover it all by yourself, I mean, you'd have to fill out your forms, and you may be able to just manage it, but you'd be a lot safer when you get 2 or 3 other people who come in with you now as your tenants. So they're not owning your document, they're just tenants. So it's your house or your apartment. You have your 2 or 3 bedroom apartment. You have 1 room, you have a tenant. Every month they pay and you use that. And I've learned from these bigger pockets guys that in a lot of instances, their tenants end up covering the entire mortgage. So now they then have what they would have paid in renting, they can now start saving to pay for things that may go wrong or things that may be damaged, but also to pay for the next one. Okay, well, thank you for joining us at Contented Hair. As you see, the hydration's there, the curls are there, they look fabulous. I'm loving them, and it's just my hair, just like came out of my head. Okay, take care. Till next time, we'll talk again. Bye.